Hello and welcome to Sheepdog Says number 32. I've had no end of trouble starting this episode. This is about the 12th attempt. I've had the camera not work. I've had the camera fall down. I've had a timer go off with an alarm. I realised after 3 attempts, it suddenly dawned on me, my brain just lit up with the idea that my new iPhone has a 4K camera on the front of it. It goes to like 60 frames per second or some nonsense, whereas the iPad I was using was only 1080 and it wasn't even recording at that. So I'm hoping that the quality of this video will be much higher than the previous ones. Let me know in the comments if the quality does look like it has improved. I know it's still my face, and seeing my face clearly is not really a treat, but yeah, let me know if it looks a bit better. I don't know what this weird shine is here on the wall. It's like, I don't know, the reflection of something. It's a shadow off of something, some sort of light. But it's kind of putting me off at the corner of my eye because it looks like just a very rectangular ghost is just hovering next to me. Today's the last day of my week of holiday fun. That was supposed to be me and the family going off to, I don't know, camp out in a forest, in a cabin, in the woods, and spend lots of times in a hot tub and that sort of thing. I've got to say, it didn't go at all to plan. I did visit my mum and dad for a few days. Didn't drink as much as I expected to. Maybe only 4 or 5 bottles of wine in that time, which, I mean, usually, that does sound like a lot, but usually we'll be doing that in a night. I feel like I ate a heck of a lot. I feel like I probably put on weight, so this might end up becoming a dieting vlog. I'd lost 2 stone, and now suddenly I'm at a point where I feel like I probably gained most of that in the week I've been off. But no, I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't go away, to be honest. I've been trying to look at ways to overcompensate and make up for it. I got a load of brochures earlier because we've always said we want to take the kids to Disneyland. I went when I was a kid. It was a fantastic time. And I just want to share that with them. I want to take them before they're too old. I've got loads of cool memories and stories from when I went. You know, I remember I must have been 12 or 13 at the time. I remember it being really awkward because I just suddenly started to notice girls a lot more. So I'd always feel really awkward. Like I remember my cousin goading me because we got on a ride. And this seems weird playing it back in my head, but we got on a roller coaster, something like Splash Mountain. So it was like my family, which would have been, I think, at least 8 of us. And then this random really pretty girl just got on at the back. And so I'm just kind of thinking, oh my God, she's really pretty. What is she doing on? I think, oh, she sat right behind me. And I'm just like, she's right. This really pretty girl's got on. And I remember my cousin just goading me like, you should get on, you should ask her on the ride again afterwards. And I'm thinking, I'm like a fat, spotty 13-year-old kid. Like, it's never going to work. But, I mean, other than that awkwardness aside, even as an awkward, spotty teen, that was one of the best holidays ever. I did have some down points in that I've got a very pessimistic mum. She'll probably be watching this and she'd agree as much as anybody that we're on the Disney, I can't remember what it's called, Disneyland Safari, something like that. The Animal Kingdom, that's it. And we're going along on one of their amazing safari ride things, and there's giraffes and there's leopards, and they're like, if you look to the right, you can see the leopard coming out, and she'd be like prowling towards you. And then we got to this bit where these hippos are in the water, just wallowing in mud. And my mum's going, they're just animatronic. They're just CGI. They're not real. That's not real. Look, I could stand on that. It's not real. And I'm thinking, A, it's definitely real. Every other animal here is real. B, go on then. Step on the hippo. I dare you. And like, C, just shut up. I'm trying to enjoy it. But we were going around and she's like, they're not real flamingos. And I'm thinking it'd be easier to get flamingos than it would to get robotic ones. And it was just surreal. But yeah, I remember just lots of weird things about America that stood out to me. Like, we would go and spend something like $2, which I imagine it's gone up a lot since that day. But $2 for an all you can eat, it'd just be jelly, cookies, ice cream, pancakes. I mean, I was young, so I wasn't eating any of the bacon and that sort of stuff. They'd give you a cherry Coke where they'd get a Coke and they'd put cherry in it, and then they'd bring you another one. And we were playing a game where we'd drink ours, order another one for the table. So me, my cousins would have just one. My sister would have like 9 Cokes around her going, I don't want any more. And we'd be like, 4 Cokes for everybody. And for some reason they kept doing it. We made a couple of stupid mistakes along the way where my uncle took us to Wendy's, I think it was Wendy's, and said, these are the best burgers ever. You have to have a burger in Wendy's. And then we ordered a salad while they had a burger. And I remember just thinking as a kid, why are we doing this? Why are we having a salad? I imagine burgers are probably like $15 or something stupid. But we were like, oh, I didn't come to Wendy's for this. It's probably the healthiest meal I had the entire trip. I remember going on Space Mountain, and my dad went on it, and then never went on another ride for the rest of the holiday. He got off it grey. My mum thought he was dead. We thought it was brilliant. We went straight back on it again. I did go on one at Disney Paris and got whiplash, and then that was me done for like the whole holiday then. I didn't bother going back. I remember going on the old Tower of Terror, where you go up and up and up. And I didn't really know what to expect. I knew it dropped, but you go right up, and it just throws you down at like super speed and all of this. And I can't wait to do that with my kids. These kids, I nearly said then, with Lamp Up and Bosco. I think some of the rides will scare the heck out of them. I imagine that Bosco won't. In my mind, the fun for me is knowing that he's so cocksure and confident that he would think getting a lift that just goes up high and falls would be the simplest, easiest, funnest thing ever. But I know the second he's on it, he'll absolutely panic and he'll go berserk, and it'll just be fantastic. I remember taking Lamp Up on a really basic roller coaster ride at something like, I can't even think the name now. It's like Gulliver's Travel or something like that. And she got on that and just was petrified, and it was only going up and round in a normal thing. We were watching it on Saturday Night Takeaway yesterday. There's one that's going upside down in loops and all sorts, and she was saying, oh, I'm not going to go on that. But I kind of thought, I really want to take, because they're at that age, if they get much older, if Lamp Up gets a couple of years older, she'll probably be a bit more cynical than I was. I was quite naive as a 13-year-old, but I think if she goes now, she'll love it. You know, she's still just about interested in the princesses and that kind of thing. So to meet them would be great. You know, Ollie's starting to get into Buzz Lightyear and all of these things. You know, the baby wouldn't know, but then it's not for him, to be honest. I mean, I can't wait another 4 years for him to be into it, because then Lamp Up's too old. We're at this point now, is which kid do you want to just leave? And I mean, we should, if we're clever about this, we'll just raise him to hate Disney, and he'll never feel like he missed out. But no, there was loads of other cool things. I remember going to all the water parks. I went on there's this ridiculous slide where you sit at the top and it is just a sheer straight down drop. And then right at the end it curves. And I remember sitting at the top of that thinking, why did I queue for an hour and a half? Why am I here? I can't walk back down. I've queued for an hour and a half, but I can't just go over the edge of a sheer drop. And then the man just said to me, 1, 2, 3, go. And I didn't. And he put the barrier up again. He's like, 1, 2, 3, go. And I was just like, it's not happening. And then the third time he said, 1, 2, 3, go. And I think he might have given me a little push, but it was just weird. I've never done anything like it. Like, I've been in rides which have fallen, but just falling myself for sheer, just the force and speed. I wouldn't do it now. I weigh too much now. Now I feel like I'd just go straight through the plastic of the slide at the bottom, and I'd probably keep going all the way through to China. But I just came out skimming along the water. I must have been a bit lighter at that point. I remember spending a lot of the time on the old lazy river and just chasing my cousin around, just shouting random things at him. I think there was a weird advert where the phrase was, you'll never be a fisherman, or something like that. And the man says, yes, I will be a fisherman. And we just kept shouting that at each other. The weird things kids do. I mean, I mentioned on Twitter that I sat in the house yesterday, it was completely silent. And I just suddenly heard Bosco go, dilly dilly, because he'd heard it on the Bud Light adverts. But that's pretty much what we were like. We were just running around. I'd be going along and I'd just see this big stack of inflatable donut tubes just floating along on its own. And I'd know my cousin was in the middle of it. And I'd just go up, throw him off and go, you'll never be a fisherman. And then he'd just scuttle off into the distance screaming, I will be a fisherman. Again, it just seems mental. It's funny what things just come out. My sister was adamant, and this is a bit bizarre, a bit sensitive, I guess, but she was adamant that she saw Princess Diana there, even though Princess Diana had been dead for a long time by that point. So there is this ongoing conspiracy that she saw her at Disneyland. it'd be a really weird setup because we also saw the bloke who plays Kevin in Coronation Street, Kevin Webster. He was just wandering around with his family. My dad did his usual, oh, there's Kev there, and just completely ruined any chance of us just looking and going, oh yeah, brilliant. Which I don't know if I mentioned in the video, but he did that when I was at Wembley and Darren Anderton walked out and he went, hey Darren! He's from the south, but he puts on this black country northern, I don't know, just accent when he notices famous people that kind of just derails any chance of me. You know, in my head, I'm thinking, just go up, just say hello to him, I don't know, shake his hand, become his best mate, end up acting in Coronation Street, you know, retire a millionaire. But my dad kills all that before I've even got going in my head. I could have met Darren Anderton and become a injured footballer and just never played but earned loads of money. It would have been great, but he's too busy waving and killing the mood. I'm not going to take him anywhere where famous people might be. So anyway, but the whole point of this was supposed to be that I tried in the week. I've tried several times now to come up with a plan for, I want to book something in summer. The ideal scenario would be to book that. Go to Disney in Florida. People have said, "Oh, go to the one in France," but the one in France is awful. I went there when I was younger. I've looked at it; it's not good. It's French, so it's not in English. Most of it, I think, or it wasn't when I was there. It might be now. Let me know. But I don't know. I feel like I'd probably spend almost as much going to that anyway. I might have to just start flogging everything I own to get there. But alternatively, I could start dialing it back and coming up with other ideas. But I know that none of those will be as good. But then my one nervous thing is I go back to work tomorrow and I've not rested at all this week because I've got a visiting and that. Going 2 weeks or whatever, 10 days, somewhere like Disney, I'm probably going to come back feeling even worse because of flights and stuff. But at least I'd have loads to talk about. And from a purely selfish point of view, every time we ask Bosco where he wants to go, he says America, only because he wants to catch the Pokemon you can only get in America. So part of me just thinks it has to be something like that, just to get that monkey off his back. Although it would never ever be. I'm not that mental. Don't judge me. I don't know. I'm kind of trying to think what we could do. When we went before, we stayed in a villa. There's lots of other bits and pieces to that, like lots of other random stories. I know that because of jet lag, I was going to sleep. Well, I say jet lag. I was going to sleep bang on time every night. I was getting back, just go straight to bed and sleeping like a log. So much so that apparently every night when I went to sleep, my cousins and my sister just buried me in stuff. And then in the morning I'd wake up and just think, why is all this stuff around me? But they were just playing Buckaroo every time I went to bed. But I don't know. I feel like there's loads of memories like that we could make if we went. So I just need to know how you do it without having to basically sell a kidney, because I don't really want to sell a kidney. I'm attached to them. But people do it. People who I know who aren't that well off or don't have jobs where they kind of, you'd expect them to have loads of spare income to do this. They seem to do it. So maybe it's possible. But anyway, maybe it's not worth it. I don't know. I've not been in 20 years-ish. I'm not that old. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. I just want a bit of guidance, really. And let me know, as I said before, about the quality. Does it look a bit better? It seems to look better on the screen here. Maybe I need to flip it and use the other camera. But yeah, let me know. Subscribe, like, comment, talk to me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks very much for watching.